Drive on Mama, buckle up. Andrea TV here from DriveOnMama.com, coming to you on a Thursday morning. And you want to know, is Top Dasher worth it? Is Top Dasher still worth it is what I'm going to say, because I have been Top Dasher for 2 months now, and the game has changed. I don't know if it is in your market yet, but since they came out with the high value program, whatever they want to call it, high pay order program, Top Dasher is no longer the same. From the 2 months I've done it, from September to October, the change is here. So whether you opt into that program or not, if your daily Dashly acceptance rate is below 50%, you are not going to see the same orders that you will once your acceptance rate is above 50%. Across the board, Top Dasher, no. In my market, I work in the DC, Maryland, between the two states, in several markets depending on where I am for the day. And as a Top Dasher in the month of October, when my acceptance rate was below 50%, I was not seeing the same volume of orders come in for me to choose from, and the orders I received were not of the same subtotal value and or tip value that I did the first month I was Top Dasher in September. So it is the 27th of October. It is the week or the 5 days leading up to the end of the month when they actually give you the Top Dasher ranking. And at this point, even on the website, it says Top Dasher, the main benefit or the only benefit promised is that you can dash now. So in order for me to dash now anywhere I am, which is still worth it for me in my market based on my situation, I'm still going to be Top Dasher regardless. I'm almost never probably going to end with 100%, but we are starting today at 60%. My screenshot is going to show 61 because I've already accepted my first order. I logged on at 9:30. I received my first order 9:31, and we took it. It is for 1175 and 4.1 miles. We're going to Bullfrog. And we have arrived. Hopefully it's ready. That last order was dropped off and there was no hidden tip, and we have taken our next $4.75 for 1.5 miles or something like that. It is $1.50 peak pay for whatever reason until 11:29. So I'm taking this one with no tip, but when I have one that I'm going to decline in the future because of high mileage, I'd rather take this one for the low mileage. Hopefully that order was dropped off and there was no hidden tip like expected. It wasn't handed to me, and the person did come out before I even had a chance to call them, so I'm grateful for that. And taking the low/no tip orders do affect your ratings because they are going to have a problem even though they didn't tip you. My rating yesterday before I started was 5.0 and this morning was 4.96. My highest no tip order I took yesterday was 10.25 for 4.1 miles. And I don't know if it was that person, but most likely. We're picking up a pizza. We are still waiting. The food is not ready yet. It's like 10:30 in the morning. But I'm coming back to let you know that the change that I saw, it doesn't affect the weekend as much. So still being Top Dasher, working on the weekend when there are more orders and higher paying orders because everybody's home and people are ordering for their families and not just individuals, I still see a steady flow, and the subtotals are, between that $35 to $99 range. I'm not a part of the large order program. I have been trying for 2 months, not in yet. So on the weekends, I don't notice it, but I work mostly during the weekdays while my children are in school. So that is the time where I noticed it like within a week. As soon as that high pay order program came out, I was like, wait a second. It looks like I'm getting the same orders that I did before I was Top Dasher, and not as many of them. So I needed to make sure during the week I can make my money, because there's only 2 out of 7 days that are the weekend. So that is why I made sure that I got my acceptance rate above 50%, I believe Monday. So I went through that little bit of pain, and you do see the change almost instantly. If you're going to be dashing for a block of time, once you get over 50%, you'll see the difference by like the first or second order after that. And when you drop below 50%, you're going to see it real quick too. They have changed it. It's not announced, but I feel it in my pockets. Hopefully it's ready. Okay, we dropped off that last order and there was no hidden tip. And as soon as we got out of the building, we received our next order within a minute. That building has bad reception, and it is for $9 and 1.9 miles. The $1.50 peak pay is still going on to $11.29, and in my market, $2.75 is the base pay. So since $2.75 is the base pay, $6.75 would be the hidden tip indicator, meaning that's the $4 limit. Then with the peak pay of $1.50, that would bring it up to $8.25 would be my current minimum for a hidden tip indicator. So that means 3 rounds of dashers denied this order, and it's most likely because it's going out of the zone, and you have to drive back in before I received it. This order's for 18 items and a subtotal of $99 and change. I did not see any order like that all of last week during the week. On the weekends, again, it was different, higher volume. I did see them. It was like I was, yay, top dasher. But during the week, I did not get any order $99 subtotal. I am expecting a hidden tip. It may not happen. Everybody doesn't tip according to the subtotal. I have had $99 orders where they only tipped the $4 and whatever peak pay or not, and that was it. And I was still totally fine because it was my $2 a mile minimum that I like on every other day of the month. But the changes that they have made in my market were not, whether you opted into the program or not, it doesn't matter. I didn't opt into the program. I didn't reset myself to 0 for acceptance rate at any time, even when going for the top dasher the first time. And I'm going to show you my last Thursday's totals. I work while my children are in school, so it's that whole, from 8:30 if we're on time till 3:30, 4:30, depending on when sports are over. So I worked 5.5 hours last week. It was 2.5 hours from 8:39 to 11:18 when I logged off, and that was because I had taken an order out of zone, which I don't prefer, but I wasn't getting any good orders, so I had to go out of the zone, and then that time driving back, I didn't want to get an order in the no-tip zone. So that's why I started a second dash and then worked 3 hours. So we're going to work about 5.5 hours for this video just to see. It's not going to be the same every week, and you can't go by that as the rule for be all, but for me it matters, and I think it can help somebody else. So we started at 9:30. We're going to work till 2:30, 3 o'clock, 5.5 hours while the children are in school, and see what the difference is. Let's go get it. That last order is dropped off, and there was a hidden tip, and now as soon as we got back into the zone, hit with another Chick-fil-A. You cannot avoid it if you're going to be in this area. $5.75 for 2.7 miles going out of the zone and to a hospital. Yay! No hidden tip. Peak pay is over. So $6.75 is my indicator. This is $5.75. But also I wanted to come back to share as much information as I remember as I'm going through my day. If I was able to work the dinner hours last week during the week, and I'm saying Monday through Thursday, because anybody who does this more than a couple of months know that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is actually the weekend where you have the volume of orders. But if I was able to work the dinner shift any day last week, I was able to see orders with a higher subtotal as a dasher. It's just during the weekdays I did not. So I usually cannot work the dinner hours, or most of them, because that is when it is practice time for 3 different children, and we have to get home, and we pick up anywhere from 3:30 to 4:30. We walk in the door about 6 o'clock. And then if I'm coming back to the market, I'll get down there at 6:30 if I turn right back around. So that's why the daytime is so important, and I want to share. Thought it was a small tip. Wrong. 0. Let's go back to that. Is one reason why I think I would never want 100% completion rate or acceptance rate in my zone or period, because by the time I see a lot of these no-tip orders, they have already gone up to my desired minimum of $2 per mile, even though it still sucked and does not feel well. You are a working professional in a medical building and you do not tip $1? Not even $1. Came back to the avenue and parked a half a mile away from the Chick-fil-A, hoping not to get another one, but I was not successful. 475.8 miles. I'll take the short distance. I'm also going to show you the one I did decline. It was to a bakery that is on the corner of a mall, and there is no parking on either corner, and you will have to go to a garage or essentially stop in the street, block traffic while you walk deep into the mall store area to get your food and come back. And you are almost guaranteed to be ticketed and or towed and have angry drivers behind you because you are holding up a lane on a street where you can't park. So that's why I declined that one. But we're going back to Chick-fil-A. Okay, that last order was to a high school, and the high schooler took $1.25. Thank you, young person. unlike the hospital worker who tipped 0. And we have accepted our next order. $4, 1.4 miles, picking up at Chipotle. And sometimes they will send you an add-on to make it worth your while. We did receive an add-on, $7.50 for an additional 2.6 miles, picking up at the Popeyes right next door. Well, the tree's blocking it, but you see the orange. But let's go get our Chipotle. Okay, that last order or batch, the $4 remained $4, and there was no hidden tip, and there was no tip at all. For the $7.50, it also remained $7.50, and that was a $4 tip. The rest base pay, and we have our next order picking up at Maggiano's, $9.75 for 5.9 miles. Hopefully it's ready. That last order, there was no hidden tip. We are back with our next order, picking up at Ann Pizza. I believe it was $7 for 3.4 miles, and it should be ready. Let's go. That last drop off was only a $1 tip, the rest was base pay, and we are going to do our last Chick-fil-A for this time period, $12.25 for 5.8 miles. And I'm going to show you, I already put in the customer's address. I'll show you how long it's going to take to do this 5.8 miles. Keep in mind, I was a half a mile from the store when I accepted it, and that is why once you go over 3 miles and to get back into the zone, you're looking at 45 minutes for one of these type of orders, which is why I declined them even for $12.25 on any other time other than now. Okay, we have dropped off the last order. It did not go up. It is now about almost 5 o'clock. We have picked up one child and we're waiting for the second one to get finished with cross country and come down to meet us. So we ended with $90.75, and compared to last Thursday, working 5.5 hours while the children are in school, we made $74.75. So that's a difference of $15.25. And I am not the tippitiest top dasher to ever take on the task of dashing, but yeah, there's some things you could buy with $15. And even if you exclude the peak pay, I believe the first 4 orders, the $1.50 peak pay was in effect. So even if you take that $6 off, that's still $9 and change. You can buy something with $9 and change. So in my market now, since they have started the Diamond program, ka-ching, Top Dasher does not get priority during the daytime hours in the market I work in. I can't speak for other markets or for people who are not Top Dasher or for people who are Top Dasher with large order program. But just a regular Top Dasher, I was not seeing the same orders once the program rolled out, and it was quick, within days. I was like, what is going on? So I will be doing my best to maintain above 50%, and right now, it is the last 5 days of the month, so I'm trying to take every order, but most of those orders I would have taken if I had seen them when my percentage was below the 50%. I declined 2 today. One, I took a screenshot, and it was because that bakery was, you can't park there, and another one was to another bakery, and I believe it was $5 for almost 5 miles or $5 for 3.9 miles, but it was going into the zone. Look at the bugs biting me. Going into the zone where I call it the no-tip strip. So that's why I didn't take it also. But all of the rest of the orders I took because they were taking. The game has changed. And after we logged off, when that last delivery was going to the no-tip strip zone, I kept the app on. Well, not kept it. I turned it back on to try to get a dash back into the zone to pick up the kids. It's not a dead, drive, because it still was going to be a 20-minute drive. And the first thing we got was a $3.75, and the person did tip $1. It was for a breakfast from Dunkin' Donuts and an iced coffee. So somebody ordered breakfast at 3 o'clock, but an iced coffee to go with it. When they make it a slushy type deal. And then they sent another one as soon as I dropped off, because it was like less than a quarter mile. It didn't show on the picture, but literally they were a block and around the corner from the Dunkin'. Then they sent us the $11.75 for the 5.6 miles, bringing us back into the zone. That was a no tip also, but it still was the $2 a mile that I like. So essentially, DoorDash has figured out a way in my market to get you by the crosshairs, no matter what you do. if and when I ever get in a large order program, I will let you know if there's a difference. But yeah, you're going to need to be 50% or above if you want to stay active and make money seriously. Anyway, so hope this helps and drive on, mama.